Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel, RegretfulTurtle, and in this video I'm going to do something a little bit different than I usually do. Today we're going to talk about, do you need to know how to sketch in order to make cool vector images, little vector graphics? No. Yeah, the short answer is no, you don't. Actually, you don't need to know how to sketch, and I will show you why you don't need to and how you can make pretty cool vector graphics without needing to know how to sketch, and what you can make without needing to know how to sketch. So let's get started. Okay, first things first, let me show you what you can make without needing to know how to sketch. So we're gonna get rid of this action here. So you can make this, I made these feet vector images by not needing to know how to sketch, and they look pretty good in my opinion. Same thing with the finger fries, they look pretty good. I don't even know how to sketch for that either. Did that without sketching it. And this dad hat also did it without needing to know how to sketch. Okay, all you need is some practice and patience. Okay, so because you might not be banging out great things like this in the beginning, you might not be as good as me. I'm just kidding, I'm not that great either, but it might not be as easy at first, but you'll eventually get the hang of it. And here are some tips that you need to know in order to, create something like this without a sketch. First of all, you need some references. Second of all, you need to know how shapes, you need to be able to see the shapes of each item, So let me show you that with the illustration. So we're going to make an axe right now, really quick, just a quick axe, okay? So first of all, you see this axe right here? Okay, like this is another way you could do without a sketching. You just grab a reference, you grab an image off of Google, like this axe. I grabbed this axe off of Google, so go ahead and do that. I'll give you some time. And then what we're going to do is, instead of, because you don't need to know how to sketch, so we're just going to go ahead and create a new layer, and we're just going to create this axe real fast. So, like I said, shapes, you should be able to see the shapes of these images. So, what shapes do you see? Well, I see a square, right here. So, we'll just go ahead and use our pen tool, and we'll just make a quick square, like so. Just follow along the general shape of the axe. Okay, so there you go. You have a square. Now, let's bump up our stroke, 8-point stroke. Okay, there's a square, That's what I see in the axe. I see a square or rectangle. What else do we see? What other shape? Oh, we see a triangle right here. So now let's create a triangle. Okay, we're not worrying about following the curves of the shapes exactly quite yet. We eventually will get there. Like eventually you'll start doing it, in a way where it's a bit easier for you. But for now, if in case it's not that easy, or if it's too overwhelming, we're just going to do our basic shapes. Okay, so now what we're going to see is our next shape. Okay, so now what's the next shape? Oh, this long rectangle right here. The handle is a long rectangle. Okay, and if you don't know how to use a pen tool, I would just recommend grabbing the pen tool. Like, it's easy. All you have to do is hit one point, hit another point, and see, you go like this, and you connect it to the end, and now you have a whole shape. You got a rectangle right here. Okay, so that's how you use the pen tool. Quick mock-up. So, and now what we're gonna do is now we're gonna go ahead and kind of just mess with the shapes to get the general shape of the axe. Okay, so in order to do this, we're gonna go ahead and just go to the head of the axe, and now we're just gonna hit A on our keyboard, and then we're gonna go, and see this what do you call it? It's going to go to your node tool, and now you're going to have this squiggly line right here. See the squiggly line? I don't know if you can see on the screen, but if you go on the blue line, you'll see a squiggly line. So you use your mouse to hold it, and then you just curve it down, just like that. Boom, and it curves with the axe. Okay, so now we're going to curve the bottom part of the axe too as well. Boom. There you go. Now we're going to move this node right here and just move it to the bottom. Grab this node on the top and move it right here. And now we're just going to grab the center again and just curve it out like that. And just like that, you have that head shape of the axe, that curved, nice head shape of the axe. You have that just like that, And now we're going to just, like, if you want to make it more dynamic, you're just going to go ahead and pull this out a little bit. And now you got a little bit more dynamicity to it. And now what we're going to do is grab this triangle and then hold shift and grab the head of the axe, the one that you made. And now we're just going to go ahead and merge them, hit add. And it merges these shapes together. So now you have a whole new shape. Like, this is how you could create new shapes yourself. Like, you just use two different shapes and merge them together, and you will get a whole new shape. That's the pretty cool thing about vectors, is that you could just combine shapes and you get a whole new ass shape. So now what we're going to do is move this triangle, this point, to where it is in our image, and we're gonna go ahead and just curve upward like this, so we can match it as close as possible to that bottom image. It doesn't have to match perfectly, it just has to match good enough. And just grab this bottom piece, and boom. Now you got the head shape of the axe, and if you really want to make it match more, you can just move this guy a little bit more. But I wouldn't recommend that because it makes your lines all janky like that. So we'll just keep it straight like this. And then now you have this cool little axe head right here, without even needing to, draw. Like if this isn't sketching, you just, have your base image. Can I have an axe? Cool. All right. So now let's move on to the handle. So same thing with the handle. We're just gonna go ahead and use our node tool. So A on the keyboard, and then just grab the line right here, and you're just gonna curve it like that, like so. And then you're gonna grab this guy, curve it outwards right here. And now this is where it gets a little tricky. You want this kind of like, how you see it gets. Let's get rid of this. See how it goes wide to thin? We're gonna go ahead and replicate that as best as we could. So go to the bottom node, and we're just gonna move like that. We just need to move it a little bit just so we can get this, as you see, this little handle right here. And so now what we're going to do is bring this handle all the way down, and we're going to curve it in like this towards the middle. And this top handle, we're just going to curve it out like this. See? Pull it down and curve outward a little bit, and now you have that kind of that curve that you're wanting to look for the handle as well, from that wide to that thin curve. And then just mess around with it a bit more, and boom, there you go. You have that. And if you really want to get like nitty gritty, you could just add nodes too. But sometimes adding nodes just what do you call it? It makes your work. It can make it a little less smooth if you add too many nodes. So I try not to add as many nodes, but we'll sometimes have to. But for the sake of this video, we won't. So here we go. Look at that. Boom. We got our general axe shape. Look at that. It looks pretty good. And now if you wanted those rounded bottom pieces of the handle, so we're just going to go ahead and go to our handle. Hit C on your keyboard for your curve tool. So we're going to go ahead and, corner tool. It'll allow you to grab both your corners. So select both nodes. Hold shift to get both of them. And then just hold on one of them and drag along like that. Drag it a little bit, so not too much. There you go. You still got that square shape, and now perfect. Now you see that? That's how it's done. That's how it's done, and that's how you can draw. You can make cool vectors without needing to know how to sketch. So now all you have to do is just add simple. All you have to do now is just add your details. So there's your axe handle detail. Boom. There you go. And then you're just gonna go ahead and you just grab this guy and just bump it up a little bit, so it hides underneath the axe head, and there you go. There's your axe. Look at that. You have an axe. Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? And now from here you could add your touches to make the axe a little bit more unique, more different. And then all you gotta do now is just add the final touches to the axe. We'll just add some quick details. We'll grab this node. We'll make a whole new line, and then on our stroke pressure, we're just gonna make it diagonal like that. And now you got this stroke. This line is gonna have a point to it instead of just being one flat thing. And we're gonna grab our line and just curve it a little bit. Just give it a little bit of a curve like this, and it gives your axe a little bit more of a dynamic feel. Like it'll give your axe that feeling like that's an edge right here. It's a whole set. It's a separate piece right here. It's not just two things together. It's a separate piece, but it's part of the image, and that makes it look, just gives it more of a dynamic look to your image. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But that's how you could create your axe without needing to know how to sketch. So you don't need to know how to sketch, honestly. You could do that, or what I like to do is sometimes instead of you tracing over an item, if you feel scummy for tracing over, I don't know, you shouldn't feel scummy for tracing over, but if you do, all you have to do is apply those same steps, but with just looking at it yourself. You just make your your square, and you're just gonna go ahead and just do that, all that same steps, but instead of drawing it over, you're just gonna eyeball it and then just replicate it on this side, and then you're not tracing over any image, and you don't have to feel scummy. I don't know why you would, but yeah, and then you just make it your own. Just make it your own, and after you have this, you could just do whatever. Just go ahead and start. You could just grab all this together. Say this is a final product, and then you just duplicate it, and then you can, there you go. Now you got a logo for something, or you could use this for a sticker or something. Simple as that. You don't need to know how to sketch in order to make cool vector images. So there's that. All right. Well, I hope you like this video. So I guess just leave a like if you like the video. Subscribe if you want to subscribe to the channel. I will be continuing adding new videos for help with vectors, to help you guys with vectors. And yeah, if you like it, I will give you a picture of a cat. There you go. There's a cat image. Woohoo! Cute little cat. That's what happens if you like. All right. So I'll see you later. Have fun. Goodbye.